Hey, what's up, everybody? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us for more Third and Long content. What's up, everybody? This is Arik Armstead, and welcome to another episode of Third and Long. As you can see, we in DUUUVAL. We're out here in Jacksonville. I got a special guest today. The list goes on and on in terms of the accolades that in his young career he has acquired. Two-time Pro Bowler, all-rookie team, franchise sack record 17 and a half, franchise rookie sack record 10 and a half, college, the Chuck Bendark Award, the Lott Trophy, the Nagurski Trophy, the Jack Lambert Trophy, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, unanimous All-American, first team All-SEC. He's a proud husband and a proud father of three, and my new teammate, Josh Allen.
Oh, wow. Great intro, brother. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you joining the show. We've known each other from a distance. I feel like, these past few years. I heard about you, when you're entering the league, coming out of Kentucky. And to see your career where it is at now, I've been proud from afar. You're a great player, and I'm really excited to be a new teammate of yours and take the field with you. And so appreciate you joining the show.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, man. I told you, when you started your show, I've been following you since I came into the league. We met on the visit. I've been a fan, watched you at Oregon, and then just to see you, hell, you played in 2 Super Bowls the past couple of years when I was in the league, so of course I'm going to watch them. Played in the NFC Championship game every year besides, what was it, 1 or 2?
Yeah, past 4 years, yep.
So you've been on TV a lot, so I got to watch a lot of tape of you, man, and to see you continue to ball out each year, that's a great sign that you're showing that consistency, and I'm excited to suit up with you, brother.
No, I'm excited too. With my show, I really want people to get to learn about us with our helmets off and be able to see who we are as people and what makes us special, our different journeys and different things that we've gone through to make us who we are. Also with the show, I love to teach people about football. So we're going to get in that later in the show with my Self-Scout segment where we'll be able to watch some film. But just starting off, man, I know early in life you moved around a lot. You were born in Virginia. You moved around. You lived in New Jersey, lived in Alabama. How was your childhood growing up, and what was that kind of like, for you, bouncing around, moving around, and where did you primarily grow up in your adolescence?
Okay, I grew up I was born in Virginia, obviously, but I lived there for 2 years, so really, I don't really remember anything.
Yeah.
I was raised in Montclair, New Jersey. I was raised with, I was the baby out of 6, twin brother, 4 older sisters, and a single parent mom. And so, that struggle was there. But, my family, I come from a long line of athletes, and I was the baby of the bunch. It starts back with my uncle. My uncle was known as Duncan Hines. So my nickname growing up was Lil Duncan. And I lived with him for a couple years in Montclair. So I moved around to a couple places in Montclair. But, starting with him, he's in the Hall of Fame, in the NCAA Hall of Fame for basketball.
Okay.
He played with Rick Mahorn at University of Hampton.
Okay.
Hampton University, real HU.
Real HU.
Then it goes down to, my mother. She's a twin as well. And her brother played.
So twins running the family.
Twins running my family.
Yeah.
So my uncle played collegiate basketball as well, Montclair State University. Then it goes down to my sisters. Oh man, my older sister is actually a cook, uh, and she's an awesome cook at that. My second oldest, Latori, man, she was a McDonald's All-American.
Wow.
I remember growing up, man, and as a young boy, coming to watch her play high school games, and they used to do the crazy lights and the crazy intros, and do all this fun stuff, man. And the games were so exciting. The arena was packed. So I really have goosebumps even thinking about it. But she ended up playing at Virginia Tech, transferred to Townsend, and injuries, got in her way. And then we go to my other sister, Kyra, who wasn't a McDonald's All-American, but she was probably the toughest one of the bunch. She was the shortest, but she was the toughest one. The grit, get down and dirty, do all the plays that need to be made. She ended up playing basketball at Cheyney University in PA. All right, and then you go down to my sister, Maisha Hines Allen, who is, so my sisters are Hines Allens and the boys are just Allens, but we're gonna work something out. Same mom and dad, guys. Same mom and dad. So Maisha, man, where do I start with this one? McDonald's All-American, top player in the state, coming out, top player in the country. I'm not her talking about her games. Man, they were just as live as my older sisters was, man. So going to her games, and I was a little older at this point, so I got to really be involved a little bit more. My mom was at the concession stand working, so you remember always running to get some candy. I was that young one. Mom, give me some candy, you got to work for it, Josh. But, I remember going there. She ended up going to Louisville. And where she got drafted to the Washington Mystics in the second round. And to this day, she still plays for the Washington Mystics, doing her thing. She battled an injury last year, but I know she's going to come back stronger than ever. I talked to her not too long ago. She's excited to get started. And, I can't wait to watch her play. And I'm a very competitive person, Eric. Very competitive. It just runs in my blood. And I compete with my family more than I compete with anybody.
Gotta be, man. You got a twin brother.
Twin brother.
So that's a natural competition.
Twin brother.
Then you got 4 older sisters who, I got one sister, and my sister became like a second mom. And I know they're gonna always be on you, and I know they were beating you up when you were young.
So it's actually a funny story about that too. So my twin brother, he played sports. He played he was a way better basketball player than I was. So I do give him credit for that. Everything else I probably had him in. I was much taller than him. But he ended up moving down to Alabama to live with my aunt and uncle. So it left me by myself. Man, let me tell you, I ain't moved nowhere so quick than I did. I told my mom I was getting beat up. I was getting told what to do by everybody. I had to clean up everybody's mess. I was probably getting whooped for things that I didn't do, So I was definitely the runt. And so then I was like, I can't take it no more. I called my uncle. I was like, can I live with you? Like my Uncle Gregory. I was like, can I live with you? Gotta move in. He's like, ask your mama. I asked my mom. She's like, sure. So I packed up. Lived with him in middle school, man, and that taught me how to be, bachelor. So it really, like, man things, take care of yourself, and really taught me how to, I wouldn't say
you grew up a lot.
Grew up a lot.
Grew up a lot.
And then competitive. So I'm a legacy guy as well. I'm competitive and I'm a legacy guy. My sister Maisha has won a championship. A professional championship. She's at the top right now. We both got drafted. I got drafted higher. I had her. She's like, I'm good.
I'm good.
And then the next year, she messed around and, they win the WNBA championship. Super proud of her. So now I'm like, okay, got to win the Super Bowl, and I got to be the MVP. So, Eric, when we get to that point, we're going to win it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be the MVP.
You're going to be the MVP?
I got to be.
That's your goal. I'm gonna help you get that, bro.
Yes, sir. I know you
know
will.
What I'm saying? If I don't get it, I would definitely love for you to get the MVP. when we go to the
Yes,
Super
sir.
Bowl.
Yes, sir.
No, but that's cool. Like learning about your family dynamic, it definitely like shows, how you became, who you are. Sports was obviously huge in your family, but for you personally, like when did you get into sports? I know you grew up playing a lot of basketball, and I did some research. I know a little bit about your football journey as well too. So when did you get into sports? When did you get serious about sports? In your life?
So I've always been an outside kid. So sports, I'm always outside. We were, if not playing tackle football on the concrete, playing curveball. I know a lot of kids don't know about curveball nowadays, but you literally throw a basketball on one curve to the other. You got to let it bounce back. That was our entertaining. We weren't inside. Mom was kicking us out the house, so we had to be outside. And so I was always into sports, always running around, always doing something. So just to realize my friends was all in it. Might as well keep getting involved in it. So middle school, I wasn't the best football player. I remember those guys coming up, when I was there, much more talented than me. Much more talented. I was an O-lineman, baggy pants, looking real dingy, dog.
Well, you play O-line?
I played O-line, man.
In middle school?
Nah, this was like Pee-wee.
Pee-wee?
This was Pee-wee.
What number were you?
I couldn't even tell you, bro. I couldn't tell you, but I always remember I always had the baggy pants.
So Pee-wee for me, I was a par player. So literally the coach had to put me in the game a certain amount of snaps, and then he would like take me out. So they would like pick and choose like when it was like a good part of the game to put me in, because that's how bad I was.
See, ain't nobody perfect, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, start off alignment. Then I kind of was working my way up a little bit. I was getting a little older, getting a little faster. And then I ended up playing a little running back, a little quarterback. Then, I became good at Pee-wee. And then middle school, still played. But high school, man, I decided. So before I decided to move to Alabama, my freshman year of high school, because I had a learning disability growing up, and it was always something I felt like it was holding me back, and I knew I wanted to challenge myself, and I really wanted to push myself moving forward. So my aunt and uncle living in Alabama, who my brother went to go live with, I remember coming up to him right after I graduated middle school, and I remember telling him, I was like, Aunt Jill, Uncle James, like, I don't want to be put in this situation no more. I don't want to go to high school and have these limitations on me. I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself, and I know I can do it. My mom's sitting right there. They said, okay. My mom said, okay. And I feel like that then and there was the first major decision that I made in my life, and I made a lot. But that right there was me being in middle school, me knowing that I can be better, me knowing I can challenge myself and push myself. So moved to Alabama. Didn't want to play football, but we can get to that after that.
Yeah, no. So you making that decision. Obviously, I struggled in school at a young age. My nonprofit, we work with it's education, and we work with students and try to help them with their struggles. And what your struggles were at a young age, making a decision in middle school that you wanted better, for yourself. And I feel like moving gave you an opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself. Yes. I feel like growing up around people, they probably viewed you a certain way, and you needed to get around like some new people who didn't have that stigma of you in their head.
Yes, sir. Without a doubt. Because I knew, my friends was the people I went to school with. You know what I mean? Like, people who I hung with outside was the people I hung with inside my classes. So it was not only like leaving, those classes and those students in there, but also leaving my friends. And that was a choice and decision that I was really willing to push myself on. And, stuttering was my disability. I had a really bad stutter growing up, man. And, it really held me back, but it was something that I really practiced on. I still have my stutter when I get to rambling and, one word turns into another, and I learned to just calm down and breathe. So I still use my techniques to this day. But it was something that really, they thought limited me of learning, and somewhere that I couldn't keep up with the other classmates if I was in a regular classroom. So, me to move, nobody knows who I was. Wherever I was going, they was gonna put me in a class where I was just with everybody else. So it was like I needed to start over.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't tell them like, oh, Josh doesn't want to be in these classes. He wants to move on. Because they would have been like, oh, he was in this class in middle school. We're going to put him in these. We're going to specify his schedule probably to put him in to keep him with the same people. So that was something I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through.
Yeah, no, you needed a new start, and I think that's a very inspiring story because, I think a lot of people look up to us, especially kids, and not a lot of kids. Kids follow us. They see what we do. It's so cool. Us playing in the NFL, and they aspire to do things like that we have done. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of people who look up to us have known kind of our story and what we go through. And your story about that experience and your studying your stutter problem, that's inspiring for a whole host of people who have that problem and can look at you and be like someone who overcame that and found success. So that's really dope. That you shared that, and I'm glad and happy to see that you've been able to overcome that, and I'm proud. I'm proud that you've been able to do that. Like, even being in a situation right now, we're doing a podcast like that. I'm sure that was like anxiety provoking for you in the past. You know what I'm saying? So
Definitely.
Yeah, like where you are now, that's amazing, man. So you got into sports. You moved to Alabama. Now you're in high school. Sports are getting serious.
No. No. Sports was not serious.
Sports wasn't serious?
Sports was not serious. I was not gonna lie. Not gonna lie to you, bro. One thing, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little afraid. I'm gonna admit it, to play Alabama football. Jersey football is different. Georgia sports is different. I moved to Alabama. All I can imagine is big, nasty, big, fast people. And I was like, I'm going to stick to basketball.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to basketball, right? And then, I'm telling my aunt this story, right? It's so crazy how the life works. I'm telling my aunt this story, like, I think I'm just going to stick to basketball because she asked me what I want to do worse. And she's a principal at the elementary school, small town. She was a principal at the local elementary school. So we're sitting out front of the school. And I'm telling her this, and she looks in the rearview mirror. The head football coach from the high school is like pulling up right behind us. So she's like, "Oh, Coach Shipman." She waves him down. Meet my nephew Josh, and he looks me up and down. He's like, "Oh, you should come try out for the football team."
Yeah.
And I was like, I guess, So I was like, I guess so. So, so I go out there. Let me tell you this. I'm proud of it now because they won't do it no more.
Yeah.
So, my first day out, right? No pads, just helmets. We going through walkthroughs, or we just kind of feel about what everybody's on. First play, right? I'm going against this dude named Jay, right? So after the play was done, the ball hike, play done, Jay picks me up from the back, suplex style, throws me in there, and just throws me on the ground, right? Let me tell you, I cried a little bit. Kind of hurt my pride. Wrist was a little dangly after that, right? So then I get up. I ain't fight. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I ain't fight, man. I was hurt. Get into the locker room. They jumped me.
What?
Whole team jumped me. Whole team jumped me, right? So I get out.
Why they jump you?
Because I was new, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, new, small town. So I get up. I walk in out. The coach standing outside the door. And I don't know if he know whatever. But he like, what happened? I was like, nothing, coach.
Nothing, coach.
Nothing, coach. And this was my first lesson in that I put my no snitch. You don't snitch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, nothing, coach. I'm all right. I'm all right. She's like, all right. I get into the car. My aunt come pick me up. She's like, what's wrong, Josh? I was like, nothing. My wrist hurt. So I was really hurt the first day. And then my whole freshman year, bro, was kind of tough. I was dealing with Osgood slaughters in my knees, so I couldn't really move. So my freshman year, I didn't do anything. I was actually because I was say a little jokester, I like crack jokes. And then, they will always do pursuit drills, start practice. And it'd be like the ball carrier versus the whole defense. You got to outrun them and everybody leverages and post a tap off, right?
Yeah, I did that drill before.
So they would choose me. So I was the pursuit guy. So I used to get the ball. They'll just bang, bang, hit me. They'll jump on top of me. So that was every day. So it was kind of torture a little bit. But,
Super torture.
I quit twice. I told my uncle. And, he was the one that was just like, this is why I love my uncle to this day. And he was like my first father figure. My dad didn't live with us. And my uncle was like, when I lived with my uncle, that was like more of a mentor. Like, that's my uncle. But like living with my uncle was my first, and my aunt was my first. This is what a husband, this is what a mother and dad looks like together. Because that's the structure that I had. And he just kept talking to me like, Josh, you're not gonna quit. Like, you're gonna go back out there. It's gonna be all right. See it through, but you're not quitting. I saw it through. Second year, my knees started to feel better. I was getting taller too. So now at this point I was like 6'2", 6'3".
Your knees was hurting because you was growing too fast.
Yeah, I was growing way too fast, bro. Way too fast. And the doctor told me, funny story, the doctor told me I had Osgood slaughters disease. That's what they said.
Yeah, I had that in like 6th grade.
So ain't it crazy how like I heard disease, so now I'm telling everybody I got Osgood slaughters disease. I'm sick.
I'm done, man.
I'm done. So my second year, man, my sophomore year, I was tall and I could catch. First of all, I didn't play freshman, JV, or senior year football. Like I didn't play. Like, I was on the bench, right? Second year, they found out I could catch. I was getting a little taller. I was the jump ball guy. And I was getting everything. So I probably had like 3 touchdowns that year. So then it was like, wow, okay. He cool. Like he
got a skill set we can work with.
We can work with that. My junior year, knees was feeling good. Routes was looking better. Didn't play really no defense. I ended up being an all-state receiver. Led the state in yards or whatever. I was an all-state receiver coming out. So then I know a couple Auburn. I didn't have no offers at the time, though. But I know Auburn was looking at me tough as like a wide tight end. I was like 230 at the time. And then and go check out my huddle too if y'all don't believe me. It's on there.
No, I saw your senior year. Your senior year you had 11 tugs.
Yeah,
1,000 yards.
Yep,
receiving. So how did you?
And I had 22 sacks.
20. Yeah, you led the state in sacks.
In my first year.
You moved back to New Jersey, right?
This is when I moved back to New Jersey.
You moved back to New Jersey and you snapped, and you led the state in sacks, 22 sacks, but the recruiting wasn't there for you. I saw that you initially committed to Monmouth.
Monmouth, yes.
Monmouth.
Yep.
My bad.
Yep. No love lost.
So how'd you commit to Monmouth, was the FBS school, and do all this, crazy stats, do everything that you're supposed to get recruited, and you end up committing there. Like, how'd that come about, and then how'd you end up at Kentucky?
And I think that's just funny thing how my life has always turned out. Like, given an opportunity, I do big in my opportunity, but don't get a lot of love back, and I've learned to accept that. And that was one instance where first year playing defense, and funny story about me playing defense. The first day I go back to my high school, I go by to go see the football coach. He looks me up and down, and he's like, you know what? We had defensive ends that look just like you. Go to the next level. Go play college ball. we're going to have you play defensive end. I was like, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so, and my D-line coach at the time, Coach JR, who passed away, RP Coach JR. But I remember during the Jamboree game, I remember looking at him at the sideline after every play, like, should I be up or down? Because I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he told me, easy. Your defense, you line up right here, and you get the person with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. Like, all right, I can do that. Because I didn't know. I was a receiver. I wanted to catch, right? So I'm like this. Should I do 2-point? Like, at the time, 2-point, 3-point? What should I do? And he's in the game like, go down. Boom, go down, make me some plays. Like I said, end up 22.5 sacks, 2-star recruit. And
2-star?
2-star.
Yeah.
And I remember the rival dude gave it to me. It was the happiest day of my life to that point.
You went from 1 to 2? Or
I went from 0 to 2. I remember after one of these Jamboree games, the rival guy comes up to me. He was like, yeah, Josh, so we're going to make you a 2-star recruit. I thought, I'm a star? I'm a star? Like, I'm something. Like, it was the best thing because I was never given anything.
Yeah.
So it was like for me to have that little bit of light was so special to me. But then no offers came. That's why I'm not supposed to say the school. I don't like a certain school up there in Jersey, because they kept coming to me. They kept visiting me. And then, I thought they were going to give me an offer. Didn't give me an offer. Told me I was too small to play the position, but they just recruited somebody from my high school a couple years back who I was bigger than.
Yeah.
So it's like, now you're going to lie in my face.
Yeah.
So then no offers came from there. And I think if that school wasn't good to give this guy an offer, in my mind, like, why would any other school?
Yeah.
So
you kind of doubted yourself?
I didn't doubt. Well, I didn't know what the process was. I didn't understand the process anyway. For me to doubt myself or not, I knew what I did, and I was happy that I did it. But I wasn't expecting anything.
Yeah.
And then Monmouth came. I remember touring the school, right? And the D-line coach sat me in the room, watching a little bit of tape. And the first thing he told me was, so here, we don't really teach you anything. We just let you go play. And from my mind, not really knowing the position, I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can go out there, put me out there, I'll make some plays. And then we're walking through the locker room, and I see a picture of Miles Austin. And I was like, whoa, Miles Austin went here. So in my mind, it went from, okay, Monmouth, whatever, to like, oh, if he can make it out, I can make it out. And so a couple weeks later, I called him back up, and I committed there. And that was really my commitment. And, it is what it is.
Yeah.
At that point.
At that point.
But I had to trick my mind, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm coming here for an education.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was really all about.
So what happened after that? I heard, obviously you weren't on anybody's anybody else's real recruiting radar. And I heard there was a crazy story how Kentucky found out about you.
Yep. Man, so committed to Monmouth. So do you want me to tell you how you want me to start it from my perspective or their perspective?
Tell it from your perspective.
My perspective, I got a call the night before Kentucky came to the school. Coach calls me, hey, Kentucky's coming down to see you tomorrow. I was like, it didn't hit. I was like, cool.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And so, I wake up, get ready to go to school like any other day. And I'm in first or second period. I get a call to come to the office. I leave the office. I'm walking down, and luckily my class was in the main hallway. And they're sitting there. My godfather was actually the head security guard. So he's there. Coach Derek Ansley, who's the defensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers now. And my head football coach is standing right there. And I'm walking there. I feel like I'm taking forever. And so, I get up to him. He looks me up and down. He's like, okay.
Okay.
I like it.
I like what I see.
We go downstairs and, we go to my coach's office. And he straight up was like, I like what I see, Josh. I want to give you a full ride scholarship.
What?
I said, what? I was like, what? It was just so crazy. then, we call my mom. My mom leaves work, comes straight to the high school. And I swear she was there for swear she got there in like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And she worked across town.
Mm-hmm.
I swear she got there in like 10 minutes. So they're laying it down on my mom like, hey, my sister's at Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is, we want Josh to come play at University of Kentucky. That a quick trip for you to come see both of us, and trying to sell her. They already done sold me.
Yeah.
So, but trying to sell her. So she was like, man, I will. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then they asked me, they're like, but one thing, we want you to come on your official visit today.
Mm.
So I was like, look at my mom. I was like, sure.
I ain't got nothing to do.
So we go to the principal's office, and luckily our principal at the time played collegiate football at the University of Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And so we told him, what was happening. He said, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
So next thing I know, I'm back home, packing my bag in a limo on the way to the airport with Coach Ansley, in the car with him over there. I'm committed at the time. Call up the head coach from Monmouth at the time as well. I was like, hey, coach, better opportunity. I found a better opportunity at University of Kentucky, not only for myself, for my family, and to grow as a player. Blah, 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 blah. He was starting to say something, and I got so anxious and nervous what he was going to tell me. I hung up on him.
Dang.
I hung up on him because I didn't want to feel like
you didn't want to feel bad.
No. So
Yeah.
I hung up on him, and then, that night I go out, I land there, and it was home.
Yeah.
It was home. Like, as soon as the energy that I got there was like, damn, this is about to be my home.
Yeah.
Go there. I'm eating food, and I'm jokingly like, where do I sign? Like, I want to commit right now.
Yeah.
So then later, that night we go out with the guys, in my visit. I meet Bud for the first time out there.
Bud Dupree.
Well, sorry.
I was going to ask you about. That's a good segue. I was going to ask you about Bud and Zadarius. And you go into Kentucky. You have a great career, obviously. You set the franchise record, or not the franchise, the
career.
Yeah, the career high, and with 31 and a half sacks, with guys who like Bud Dupree and Zadarius that went there. Tell me about like looking up to them, because those guys are my class, so I know their game, I know the type of players they were, but you coming in, looking up to them, and where you were able to like take your game like in Kentucky.
I can't take too much credit. They was only there. I think they were only there for like 2 years, because I know Zadarius came from junior college. I really don't know about Bud and how I don't know if he was there 4 years or not, but I know Zadarius was there for like 2 years or a year. But I didn't meet those guys until year 2, like my second year, or but I didn't really. The only thing I really knew about those two were, I remember watching the South Carolina, two things about watching Kentucky play on TV. The first time I watched them ever, I was young, or I was in high school, and I remember they was playing Mississippi State, and they were getting, this is when Dak was their number 1 team, killing them. And I told myself, I swear, this is why I don't never do this no more. I was like, I would never play for that team. Never play for Kentucky, because they were getting whooped. I was like, I would never play for that team.
Yeah.
So then full circle moment, it's like, now I'm committed to the University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I told myself, and then I did it for the Jags too, but not like that way. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. But so Kentucky, tell me about your experience at Kentucky. I got a few questions. Obviously, you said going into it, like Kentucky isn't known as a football school in the SEC, but they're I think you guys had more success
the last few years.
Yeah, last few years, and when you got there, you were a big part of changing that around. Tell me about your Kentucky experience, and also too, tell me about going to a basketball school.
Okay.
What was that dynamic on campus like? There was multiple NBA stars.
Yeah.
I think Bam was there when you
That's
were there.
Boy. That's my boy.
There was a bunch of NBA guys there when you were there.
Yeah.
So tell me about that dynamic on campus between football and basketball.
Well, it's actually kind of crazy, because I remember, me and Jamal Murray, we came in together. And I just remember, not thinking anything of it.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I won't say we hung out, but we met. We were at a couple functions together.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Bam, I didn't start really my rookie year. Let me start with football.
Yeah.
Basketball wise, I didn't really get into Kentucky basketball for real. Like, you know, I went to a couple of games. If I was hosting, you know, I would go to the game. They'll invite us to the game. But like, I've probably been to more Kentucky games since I've been out of college than I was when I went to college.
Yeah.
So, but I had a couple classes with a couple of the guys, and you know, come, don't come, whatever. You know what I mean? So Bam was my boy though. Like Bam was like my boy. Like we was definitely cool. But my experience in college, you know, again, I played defense 1 year in high school. I remember now I'm playing outside backer fully. I remember the very first meeting, and now we had 3 players on the roster. One of the players got like arrested. So now we only had 2 players on the roster. And for me coming in, I was like 210 at the time, and now I have to play. So there ain't no rare certain. Or you gonna have to play job. Or you might have to be ready to play. Right. So for me, it was like I have to take as much knowledge as I can. So I remember the first meeting. We're going through the basics. You know how we did today. He was telling us the logic. You know how we play, what we like to be. You know, talking about we were playing Jack and Sam. The Jack is to the boundary, the Sam is to the field. And when he got to that point, I was so confused because I was like, hold on. I didn't ask I waited till everybody left to ask him this question. But I was like, Coach, what is the field and what's the boundary?
Right. What is a Jack and what is a Sam?
What is this like? What I don't know any of it.
Yeah.
So then I remember breaking it down, and he was so helpful to me, you know, around that time that he took the time and, you know, he wanted to teach me. And I remember, you know, being in the 2-point stance. Like when I was in high school, I was like a wide receiver 2-point stance, like getting off the ball, not really playing or running nothing. I'm just getting off the ball as fast as I can. But in, you know, college, you have to be a little bit more wider base, comfortable stance. You got to know how to attack, redirect, and all these things. So I remember being in my dorm room, and this is where I feel like my greatness started to like want to challenge me. I remember being in my dorm room, doing my stance every single day, like getting a sense, what's comfortable to me? Do I like this? Do I like that? Let me see if I change my toe. Like really going through that process, and I found out what works. Taking the steps, step and strike, just doing the little mundane things that I can do to make myself better. Because, you know, I got close with a lot of the older guys on the team at the time, the seniors. I was always fight with them, and I remember, you know, telling, you know, one of my OGs at the time, like, "Yo, I'm gonna be on the field with you." You know, I wasn't supposed to play. And it came a time, probably we were playing Auburn at night, and it was like 3rd and 26. And then they called my package, like a speed package. So then I remember running on the field like, I told you I was gonna be on the field with you. So it was just like those little goals that I set for myself that I wanted to see come true, that I wasn't gonna stop until I did it. So each year I, you know, progressed the goal, and I eventually attained each one of those goals. But I remember in my freshman year, man, didn't play as much. It's really special teams, rotational guy if best. I remember playing against Dak at home at Mississippi State and touching him. You know, like, oh shit, I almost got him. I probably touched his back like this much. And like, but I was so, you know, because I was also a fan of the game. Like, I loved the game. I loved the guys who I played against. Like, I'm playing against this guy. I was one of those guys because I didn't really play. So it was like, wow, like I did it. You know, I'm in this position. I play special teams, but you know, that was my freshman year.
When the next step happened, you know, you go from that to SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and you played 3 years.
I played 4.
Played 4. So in 4 years.
4 years. So when I believed, because I never thought about the NFL. Like coming in my rookie year, NFL was never, at the time, was like my goal. I was really in college. That was my goal, was to be in college. And so it didn't get real until like my junior year when I started to hear a little bit of buzz going around. I was like, holy crap, like I could be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like this is like real. And then I started taking my craft a little bit more seriously. And excuse me. I started taking my craft a little bit more seriously. And so my junior year was my break. Well, not my breakout, was just okay, I got to get right. So I went from like 2 sacks to 7 sacks
Mm-hmm.
to 7 sacks, and then I had 17 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from like 7. My first 7 was like, you know, first of all, they didn't even want me to start. So I was starting all of camp my sophomore year. I'm sorry to go back. I was starting all campus my sophomore year. We get to the first game. They come up to me. It was like, hey, we want to start, oh boy, like we want to start him. I was hurt, right? Crazy enough, like bro got hurt. And so like I came in, I balled out. And I never not started another game in my career. Well, until I got my rookie year in the league. But college career, started every game after that. My junior year, it was like, okay, work on your craft, Josh. Like, become a better player. And then my senior year, you know, I thought about leaving. I was having my son. So my life was like trying to figure out what do I need to do. You know, I was with my girlfriend, my wife now. And we were just trying to figure what to do. So in my mind, I'm like, I need to get some money. You know, like we ain't had NILs. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I gotta get some money. You know, so I remember going and talking to Coach Stoops. I went to his office, and I was like, Coach, like, I need to like, I think I'm gonna leave. And you know, he said one word to me, dog. One word to me. Well, 2 words. Sorry, generational wealth. And when I heard that term, I've never heard it before in my life. I never thought about it. I never. I was like, what is that? And he started to explain it to me. It's like, it's when your kids have money for the rest of their life. And for me, it was like, you know, growing up, I went back to my growing up. We didn't have money.
Yeah.
Like we weren't fortunate to get all the nice things and dress the nice thing. You know, wear the Abercrombie and Finch what everybody was wearing.
That's what you wanted? That's
so
what you
like
wanted? The American Eagle?
The American Eagle, Aeropostale Hollister. You know, we had to go to Marshalls and get ours. You know what I mean?
Had to go to Marshalls, had to go to TJ Maxx.
You got to go to Ross here and there. Get the bright.
Yeah.
I had to get the USPAs. I wore the USPAs.
You had a Burlington Coat Factory?
Yes, we had a Burlington Coat Factory, bro. So it was just like, I'm having my son. And then I think when I left and I told him, I was like, Coach, like, all right, I'm with you. Like, but I'm gonna need a coach. Like, I need a coach. I've never had a coach that coached my position, that played my position, that knew how to pass, like could teach me how to pass. Everything that I did was all natural.
Yeah.
Me being a good athlete that I was, right? Man, I'd say 2 weeks later, Josh, we got you somebody. He got in Coach Brad White. Oh man, I love this. I will call him like every day. Like to this day. But he came from the Colts. He was like a D-line assistant at the time. And I remember the first time meeting him, we started talking about ball. Because at this time, my mind was like, I need to get better. I need to get better. I need to get better. I was already
You had a hunger for the knowledge.
Yes. I was working by myself in the summer. Everybody gone. My wife working. She pregnant. I'm outside working, like grinding every day, eating better. Ended up getting up to 260. So me and Coach White, when we hired him, we went straight to work. He started telling me about the NFL side of it. This is what they look for at your position. This is the speed. This is the strength. He showed me. I remember he put me up Bud stats. When Bud got drafted, this was his stats were in college. This is where you need an M2 plus better. So he was breaking it down for me to like, this is what the NFL scouts look at. So he's really like, okay, I need to get right.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, tell you that couple months primed me to become the person I am today, like so much. And now it was so surreal moment. Now I'm jumping ahead to like the ramble. I just got signed. I know we're probably going to talk about that later, but I want to stay on the topic of generational wealth. I came back my senior year so I can obtain generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the journey, generational wealth has changed in my
Mm-hmm.
mind of really what it was.
Yeah.
But in my mind at that time was the wealth.
That dream.
That dream. And
Mm-hmm.
so my coach was like, it's not the first contract, it's the second, the third. And it's those contracts. It's those contracts. It's
Mm-hmm.
not because I could have left my junior year and got paid and had that contract and then had to work
Yeah.
for that.
Never know.
So fast forward now, it's like when I thought about that time, that thought I had in my head about what I wanted and to achieve that right there, it just came full circle and I got hit with a lot of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
But it happened so quick because I want more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And now I'm driven, like my generational wealth went from generational wealth to money, generational wealth to knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to know how to invest. Now I want to know how to, teach my kids to manage money or teach my kids to value money and like have their kids teach their kids so we can all sustain and make more money their way. And I think that's where my knowledge has grown, interacting with other players. I know I'm gonna learn a lot from you. I know you're really knowledgeable in finances and all these things, and I can't wait to pick your brain about these things. Because I'm a sponge. I love to learn. I love to grow, and so it's so surreal.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. So we go back to start of your NFL career.
Yep.
You said you had 17 sacks, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and you go into the draft. You get drafted. Get drafted here. Tell me about that experience getting drafted, and how you felt in that moment coming to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, I was the Defensive Player of the Year, won every award. I thought I was the best player in the whole draft, quarterback or not. Personally, I thought I was the best player. I affected games. Obviously, the stat sheet speaks for itself, and I thought I had the biggest presence. But 6 other teams didn't. So me sitting there waiting, really just was just building up, man, and I was getting really frustrated. Like it was supposed to be a time for me to be so happy, but my pride kicked in, and I was very frustrated. I thought certain teams were going to take me, passed on me. So dealing with that, I ended up watching. I got drafted. I had my son out there with me, and very special moment. It turned out to be very special, and what God really needed, and what God really had in store for me, and it was to be in Jacksonville. It was to keep building up teams. Like I think I was never meant to go to an established team, a team that was, that had success in the past and had to keep sustaining because it wasn't like that in Kentucky.
Right.
My Kentucky, we were dog crap, or we were the program that, people, we're playing Kentucky, we're gonna. I was a part of that, and I had to change that. And Jacksonville was the same way. Obviously, in 2017, historically, when they first started, they were really good. But then they went through a stretch where they weren't a good team. And 2017, they kind of broke that and then kind of went back down the year after. So then it was my turn. We went from 6-10. I told myself we can't get no worse than this. Then we went to winning one game. We won the first game, lost every game after that. Then we went from 1 to 2 games, and then we had the playoff season the next year. And I think that was what I'm here for. I think I was brought to Jacksonville to be a part of something special here and to bring something that hasn't been done here. And that's why I value DUUUVAL as much as I do, because I know my career is supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I know what I'm supposed to do. I know the value that I'm supposed to bring to this team, bring to this fan base, and I want to continue to do that until I'm done playing.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm feel like I'm supposed to be here too. And like you said, God always puts you right where He wants you to be. And I got that same sense of energy coming here of helping to take a team, take a organization and get over that hump, man, and find some consistent success. And I think we have a prime opportunity to do just that. and that's what I'm really excited about. Looking at all the guys that we have on our team before I got here, and now having a chance to meet you guys and be around you guys, man. We definitely got something special that I'm looking forward to being a part of, and like I said, taking that next step. Reaching new heights, new opportunity, new sense of energy. So that's definitely like how I feel. We talked about your contract. You obviously had a huge, crazy season last year. I think one theme of this pod has been you got a lot of sack records at a lot of different places.
I do.
like,
I do. So it's
you got you
here,
high school sack record. Gosh darn, college sack record.
NFL
2 sack records here in Jacksonville.
I'm one away from being the most in career.
Yeah,
2 sacks away. Tony Brackens has it right now, and I talk to Tony a lot. He just texted me now, like the other day, actually, just to check up on me. So, and again, I'm a legacy guy, man. Like I want to leave a legacy everywhere that I go, and I'm so glad that you're on our team, because not only have you played at a very high level consistently, you've also played in big games. And when you have guys that I'd never experienced playing in the AFC. I went to the second round playoffs, and I'm so glad that I experienced that feeling. But getting to there is the hardest part. And then once you're there, knowing that it's a different level to play at.
Yeah.
And you've been there multiple times, and we have a room. I know you've seen our room. We got a very talented room. And to add another piece of like yourself, you can teach not only myself, because like I told you, I have so many goals that I want to achieve. I think Coach Nelson was brought here for a reason, and I think I can see my game improving on a whole nother level. And then adding you, like I feel like I'm gonna talk to you more than the coaches. So, and I'm gonna be picking your brain. When Calais was here, I picked his brain every single day.
Yeah. Coaches coach. They put us in position, but
what happened right here
on this field right here?
Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's gonna be up to us.
Yes, sir.
And what we do. And I'm definitely excited about it. So let's talk about Jacksonville, man. What do I need to know about this town? I'm trying to figure it out what I need to know.
I mean, so Jacksonville, obviously, you probably know now, is the largest. It's the largest city landmass, but it has that small country feel. It takes about 40 minutes to go to different places, but once you're in your location, you're in your location. I know that a lot about people. Excuse me. What else? What else you want to? You got to tell me what you want to know, because there's a lot of things that I know. But like, what are some things you want to know about?
Yeah, man. Just well, I'm a big foodie, so I definitely want to know about the food scene.
Cooper Hawks. It's not as big as New York.
Yeah.
Every other block is a different restaurant.
But I like that, man. I like good, kind of down to earth mom and pop shops.
Well, Cooper Hawks isn't a mom and pop, but it's the only Cooper Hawks I know. So I wouldn't say it's a chain.
Yeah.
But they have some really good food. They're really good comfort food.
Yeah.
Everything you can want, they have. If you're looking for a little bit more fancier, obviously Capitol Grill. We got Roof Chris, but personally, I'm sorry. I love all you restaurants. I still go to all you guys, but Capitol Grill. That's where me and my that's
what you like. Capitol Grill.
That's what I like.
That's the spotlight. Like. That's like a date night spot.
That's a date night spot. That's actually our date night spot. We're not gonna tell you when and where. Not you, because there's people out there probably. But we'll pop up there once in a while.
Yeah.
Downtown over here, if you're talking about, we got Orsay. Shout out to Orsay. It's a really good, dim lighting, smooth type of vibe. Again, it's comfort food, but it's very good. What's another one I've been to down there? So I love I'm starting to love Mexican food, So there's a restaurant called Añejos, and they're pretty scattered around here.
Yeah.
But my favorite one is the one on A1A in Ponte Vedra.
Mm-hmm.
That one, I go there. I would try to go there probably once a week.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
I got to check that out for
it's
sure.
it's a spot. I made a new creation there. That's why I like to go there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a birria chimichanga.
Mm-hmm.
I made that there, and so now they make it special for your boy.
Okay. So I can go in there and ask for the Josh Allen?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You get they gonna get you right.
Nah, that's what's up. You gave me you gave me
Oku at the beach is a sushi spot. I don't know if
Okay.
they do sushi.
Yeah, I like sushi. Love sushi.
That's a good spot.
Yeah. Nah, you gave me a lot of good options. No, I'm really excited about this year. Looking at 2024 and this season coming up, obviously our division is going to be tough. I think a lot of teams, I think teams in the division got better for sure. But I feel like we got a lot better
Yes,
too.
sir.
This off season, and you know a lot of the guys on our team, better than me. I've been competing against them, but day in and day out, you've been around them. So talk about the guys on our roster. Talk about the talent that we have on this team, and your expectations for us this season.
I mean, the expectation starts with how we handle our day-to-days.
Mm-hmm.
I think it starts there because for us, we've set after Doug's first year, we set a very high expectation for us, and that expectation that we just thought we would just maintain.
Mm-hmm.
But then we hit a little bit of adversity, and we kind of hit a wall, and we didn't know how to get out of that wall, and that's why bringing in guys like yourself, Darnell Savage, guys that Mitch Morris.
What do you think happened last year? Like because you guys started off hot.
Yeah.
What do you think happened like midway through the season?
Man, I to be honest with you, brother, these are things that we as a leadership group need to still figure out. Last year I wasn't a captain.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really doing my thing outside, but still involved because I am an involved player.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I'm starting to move back into.
Mm-hmm.
So just to know what those guys were thinking day to day or what they believe. But in my mind, man, I just think it was, I don't know, man. Just thinking that we can win every game. We had the talent to compete against any and everybody, but just figuring out how, I don't know, because I can't make an excuse of why we lost, but that I know that feeling that we went through, and it was very, trust. I think we lost a lot of trust between each other, and so I think that's one thing that we need to focus on this year.
That togetherness.
Yes, sir. And that's all phases of the game. That's first of all, that's players because we play the game. That's also coaches, players having trust within the coaches and the coaches higher up or whatever, and knowing that we can go to any of these coaches and just as a group, honestly, like, hey, this is where we're at. Can we change this or can we modify or can we find a trust and a balance between? Obviously, it's a business and we understand that, but having that balance to go and build that trust within each other. And I do think it starts today.
Yeah.
Training, every phase, training camp, it's a huge phase, but we're battling every day.
Yeah.
We're competing. We got to compete. But I think it's building that trust.
Building that trust
deeper.
and that togetherness.
Yes, sir.
That camaraderie between us. And,
yes, sir.
Me and you are going to be, huge catalysts for that, heading into this season. And, that's something I'm excited about working on and building and, getting turned around for us and our team. I think, the sky's the limit for us if we're able to, do those things that we're talking about. If we're the best teams that I've been on, we were the closest teams. We we knew one another, and we trusted in one another. We knew that the guy beside me was doing everything he can and fighting for me. you know. And when I take the field, obviously, you know, we're individuals, but everything that we sacrifice and go through out on that field, at the end of the day, affects the man beside us and affects the whole entire organization. You know, like when you win, you go home,
You happy?
wife happier, life is good, you know, kids happy.
You don't mind getting beat up, you know.
Kids happy,
Jumping
you know what I'm
over.
saying? Everybody around the organization happy you come in, hey,
Yeah.
you know. But winning and losing affects everybody. This is what we do. Like, this is the sacrifice we've made. We put it all on the line, and you know, winning and losing is that determining factor on, you know, everything around our lives. And so when we realize how big of a role we play in each other's lives, I think that leads to that togetherness. So I'm excited to do that with you this year, and you know, we're gonna get into some quick questions. You know, interesting stuff. So first I haven't played in London yet. We got 2 London games. So tell me about, you know, what do you love about playing in London and, you know, the UK fans and kind of that experience, and what you're looking forward to most?
Definitely. So, you know, being drafted here and playing every game and playing a game in London each year, it actually gave me my first experience outside the country. So I'll always honor, you know, that. And once a week I went out there, man, I tell you, man, I got embraced personally. You know, they embraced the team, but when I was out there, man, they loved me. And I started to fall in love with them too, you know. So now every time I come back, man, I feel like I gotta show love, man, and you know, and I love to do it because they embrace us so much out there. They take really great care of us out there. The fan base, just playing in front of those fans. It's, yes, we have the Jaguar fans, but man, have you played a game in London?
I ain't played in London
So
yet,
look,
man.
you're gonna see, you know, let's say we play, I don't know, the Bears.
Yeah,
You're gonna see Derrick Henry jersey,
yeah.
Tom Brady jersey, Aaron Rodgers when he played at
NFL
Green Bay.
fans.
They're gonna be all types of jerseys, and you're just gonna hear screaming. You don't know who they screaming for, what they screaming about. If a team make a play, they just gonna be cheering. And so when that energy is just always high, it lets you zone into, let them cheer for me. You know what I'm saying? Let them cheer for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let us be on top. Because when we kicked that field goal a couple years ago when Urban Meyer was here, man, that crowd just erupted. Oh my gosh! And plus, it was our first game I think we won that year, and the crowd just went absolutely crazy. But they take good care of us, man, and the food out there is. I got a couple spots. You know, I made a shout out. We need to go out there, but I'm gonna take you to a couple spots when we go out there.
All right, cool.
I got you.
All right, for sure.
I got you.
All right. Looking around the league, who are your favorite or top 5 edge rushers?
Okay.
Guys at your position that you respect, appreciate their game.
Man, I respect everybody who does this, who does it the right way.
Yeah.
First and foremost, my favorite to watch and study. Man, it's so hard to I love Max. It's so hard to watch him because it's like, damn, look at he doing all this. Because you know they teach you need 3 moves. You got an inside, outside, and a power.
He got hella moves.
That man got a bag.
Yeah.
So it's like you try to do something that he does, and it's like, you know, it was one day, I think it was a couple years ago, I called him up, and I was like, Max, the side, because we were about to play against, I forgot, he played, we're about to play against a team that he played against earlier in the year. He killed them with the move. Kept killing him. I was like, bro. And then I saw another guy try to do the move on his team that couldn't really hit it as good as he did. So I'm like, what made you move different than what he did? You know, because it looked like it was same to set up, same all this. Violence and tenacious, Josh. You gotta be a dog. Like, I got you. You know, so I love watching Max play. I love the effort that he plays with. So that's one. And plus, he's my classmate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I love what Nick.
Yeah.
Nick is a guy where, you know, it was like, dang, you know, we came in together. You know, he was the first in taken. I told you how I felt.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm like, dang, how he get picked before me? But then it's like once I learned, like, started learning the game, and I started to really watch tape, is when I started to really understand and see the type of game Nick had.
Yeah.
Bro, Nick is an unbelievable player. He does a lot of things really good, really clean, and he's very consistent. Very consistent. And one thing Nick does that I try to incorporate in my game and is the angles. Is the steps. Is the why he's doing the steps. Not really the move, but just the setup. Because he takes you bing, bing, bing inside. Bing, 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 power. Bing, 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 power outside. You know, he does a lot of things well and is very consistent. So that's one thing I like to watch Nick about. Myles Garrett. Oh my goodness. Man, that dude, this is who I watch for angles. Who can sell any move, you know, if you watch tape, you see we got the hashes. I'm talking to you, understand this, but people who don't know, you know, we play hash to hash. And so once an end is on a hash, you can see the type of angle that he uses. It's not really at a 45 run behind the hills. He's running the hash. So why is he making this? Why is he running this hash? He's making his tackle do this. Why is he doing that? To let him open up like this. So really understanding the angles that Myles rushes with is what makes him so dominant, and him being so big and strong and fast and twitchy as he is great to see, obviously. Unique, Jan, cross chop. That's where I got my cross chop from. I didn't know what a cross chop was until I came to Jacksonville. And when I may tell you, that dude is just so crazy.
Yeah.
Because if you can't block it, you can't block it.
Yeah,
like,
he gonna do that joint every time.
Like, so just to see that move, I kind of incorporated that into my game. So Jan's another guy that I watch, especially if I know I like to do it. I check the tape to see if Jan did the move. So I go back years and years, like, all right, Jan played him 2 years ago. I'm gonna go back and watch that game because I know he gonna hit him with it. Did he beat him? How many times did he beat him? If he didn't beat him, why? You know what I'm saying? And how can I make him do what I want to do?
Yeah.
That's another guy. And then, you know, I do watch Chris Jones. I like watching a little bit of Chris Jones, man.
Yeah.
I just like the dominance.
Yeah.
You know, dominance. So
those
are my guys.
No,
and then TJ, yeah. TJ gonna give you the same thing.
Yeah.
That club rip, that rip run through.
Yeah.
Is deadly. Yeah. I seen it in person.
I seen it in person too.
You know what I mean?
He had 3 sacks versus us last year. I'm like,
game 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, week 1. I'm like, that boy good.
That boy good. So I'm not gonna lie. So, you know, I pride myself, man. So when I play against the best, I gotta outshine the best.
Yeah.
So when y'all came here, oh man, I'm always competing with Nick. Like in my head, I love Nick. Like he texted me after I got signed, bro. Like, bro, we did it.
Yeah.
I was like, 'cause that's my classmate, and I respect him so much, and we talk every time we see each other. But it's my house.
Yeah.
I can't like in my mind, I can't let you get off the way I know you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got to get mine.
Yeah.
Myles was the same. TJ was the same.
Yeah.
You know, all those guys. Trey. Trey was the same. I can't let him outdo me in my house.
Nah, that's what's up. So we'll finish up with this, and then we'll get into some film real quick. Your family, man. You know, I love talking to the guys about their family. You know, you're proud husband and father. Got 3 kids. Tell me about your family.
Man, you know, my wife Caitlin. We're actually celebrating our anniversary tomorrow.
Okay.
Of 6 years.
You already got it all planned out?
Yes. Yes. It's funny because I was doing a signing earlier today, right? And she called me. I called her to check up on her while I'm signing. And so she's calling me, she called me back. And she's like, Josh, tomorrow's our anniversary, right? like surprise. I'm like, yeah, I know that, baby. You good?
You good?
Like, yeah. I just wanted to remind you. I was like, nah, we good. So yeah, we're celebrating our anniversary tomorrow. Man, it's been life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not gonna say it's been perfect. It has not been. We struggled. We've had a lot of ups and downs, but it's life.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you seeing your kids grow. I remember when I got drafted, I'm holding my son in my arms to get drafted, and I'm sorry, I'm looking back at those photos. He's 6 years old with 2 little siblings, taking control of that. And so like we don't check each day. We just check the life. Like, dang, I remember when he first walked. I remember when he, said his first word. I remember when we dropped him off at school. I remember these days, and to see where his life is like, well, I'm trying to say life. I'm not going to put my life and our business out there, but just give an example of like, there's ups and downs, but when you find the one that you truly love, you're going to figure out how to do it.
How to make it work. I
told you, I was experienced to see what a marriage looked like for 3 years of my life when I lived in Alabama. This is what marriage is, right? I didn't grow up with it. My mom and dad were separate. So I didn't understand, and I couldn't give you a clear picture of how it worked. So my wife's parents weren't together either. So for us to go through this life of having kids so young, being drafted so young, coming through with money so young, but being forced to be grown adults and trying to work our way with life. Now we got 3 kids. Fast forward, we got 3 kids. I think we have a really good base of how to manage our life now, how to schedule our life. And people worry about, oh, he has 17 sacks with a contract year. No, I got 17 sacks because I figured my life out. I'm figuring it out. I figured out what works for us. I figured out what works for my schedule. I figured out what works for her schedule. We married that schedule together. We come and we created a bond and a team, and our kids are situated in what they have going on. So it's like, it's not about, it's about figuring it out.
Yeah.
I'm 26 years old, and I'm still figuring it out. I found out what works for me though, and guess what? I'm going to continue to do that. And so I love my wife to death. Man, we're going to continue to battle. We're going to continue to work hard. We're going to continue to push ourselves. We want to show our kids what true love is. We want to show our kids what never giving up, and continue to love each other, continue to push each other, continue to motivate each other. My wife is my biggest motivator. She's my biggest hater, but she's my biggest motivator as well. And I trust her to this day. I used to you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to listen to you. But then when I start to understand and know myself, my wife knows everything about me. She knows how I am. She knows who I am. She knows how I think. So the words that she says to me is never to hurt me or to put me under or to lift me up too high, but just listen, receive it, digest it, and then go. And so to this day, man, my wife has been a freaking rock.
That's amazing.
And I can't wait to continue to live this life with her and let our kids know what true love is, and let us be our kids' examples. And that's what I'm really most excited about.
No, that's amazing, man. You never really, you never really know, excuse me, you never really know what your purpose was until you have, your family. And that's my purpose too, man, is my wife and my 2 daughters. That's my purpose. That's my why. And it gives your life so much meaning. And, when it's you can have success and do all these things without having that family and your reason why, man. It's not as meaningful and not as impactful. So for you to have that, I'm excited to meet your family and hang out with your family, man. And I'm excited about this year. So next Next part of the show is self scout. We're gonna watch a little film real quick.
Okay, so
Down the distance.
it's fourth quarter, a minute and 39 seconds left. We beating the Atlanta Falcons right now, 23-7. And yeah, it's looking like we about to, solidify this win.
Mm-hmm.
But what was so special about this play is right before, like, I was having a productive day, and I was telling him, I was like, man, it was cross shot. I was killing him on the cross shot. And I was telling my guys, telling the DBs, telling them, give me a few seconds. Like, give me a millisecond. I'm going to get a strip sack. Like, this is right before we came out on this play.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, like, this was, right before we ran out because it was the 2 minute they trying to go quick. I'm like, yo, give me a millisecond. I'm going to get a strip sack. Like, I'm telling them this. Like, I'm going to get it. I wish we had this on audio. So we got to find this, Dylan.
Who was mic'd up that day?
I don't know who was mic'd up. Evan was mic'd up?
Dang, man, we missed the mic'd up.
Bro,
that would have been epic. That's some Hall of Fame, like,
bro,
NFL
crazy.
films, like, I'm about to get a sack.
Bro, but it was the funny thing about I was so cool with it. Like, hey, bro, like, give me a millisecond, bro. I'm gonna get you a strip sack. I swear to God. Like, I was putting it out there because I was killing it. I knew the time was gonna come.
Yeah.
Right. So, I played the play. So, it's first down. They got 2 first downs to this point, or maybe 1, and they were going quick. So I'm like, okay, you play the game.
Yeah.
You start to feel it.
Yeah.
They're going quick. First sound.
First
the
sound.
ball is going hype.
Yeah.
So I'm, okay, they just did it again. Okay, bet. So now I might have a great jump on this ball. I get my angle right. I get my setup. Ball snaps. I get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
What I do.
What do you want? You want him to shoot his hands?
I just needed to get to that spot because his spot, he's, a veteran player. He likes to get to his spot.
Mm-hmm.
He got, smaller arms, and, I want him to make him shoot him. He going to shoot him once I get in his space. He going to shoot him.
Yeah.
And once he shoot him, if I trust my process and trust what I seen on film, trust what I've been doing all game, it's going to be exactly where it's at. And so I get a good jump. I get my steps in. I trust that on this third step, I'm going to go cross. I'm going to go play my cross chop, rip, and then quarterback right there, now dive. Like, I didn't touch the quarterback at all. I just went straight ball.
Nah.
That's and that was probably like, 2 minutes. Got to get lined up a little bit quicker, guys, but it's okay.
Watch out.
Straight sack. So then when you get up, I wasn't trying to celebrate. What'd I just tell y'all?
What I just tell
What I just did? What I just tell y'all boys? I was not finna play. So that was definitely a cool moment I had.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find a run play. So, we got to play Saw 1. We in base personnel, both outside backers. We both rushing. We both attacking. This is a staple in our defense, and it's fourth quarter. Defense quarter hasn't called it yet. Right? We playing a lot of, Sam and Will.
Yeah.
1 drop, 1 rushes. So I'm like, Coach,
Call that Saw.
call it. Like, and I remember coming
Come
up to
on,
him,
man.
like,
Cut us free, man.
Call Saw, Coach.
Cut us loose, man.
Call it. It's there. So then, I get him to call it this next drive, and then come out in the formation. This is why watching film is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna teach you a lot of things that I got from the coach. If y'all watching, I know something. But they was in this formation. I'm gonna see it. Obviously, I'm gonna explain it to y'all. Yeah, they get into this formation, play action pass.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm about to get outside this because we're supposed to be. And this is where film study is so important. We're supposed to be in this crease. I'm supposed to be in this crease between 81 and 83,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm supposed to shoot the D gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But film study, getting a little
Based on the formation.
based on the formation,
You had a pass indicator.
and back away.
Yeah.
Back away. They not if they're gonna run the ball, they're gonna run the ball to me.
Right.
Like, everybody's gonna come to me. So working with space, I can set an edge right there, and I don't got, like we said earlier, you can let it go outside you. So
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, bet. I'm thinking pass, and then ball snap. First of all, I don't know what happened, but they did not see me. I don't not see me.
Oh my
Bing,
God.
Bing, and again,
They ain't even block you.
nope. And again, I looked to the sideline, and I looked at my coach. I told you.
I told you call that
I
soft.
told you to call
They
it.
probably thought you were gonna drop.
I don't know what they thought, but I'm glad they thought it. But that was probably one of the biggest hits I done gave somebody in my NFL career.
Yeah.
You know, so
One
I
of
was,
your biggest
so
hits.
it was like
That felt good,
it
huh?
felt real good. First
Yeah.
game, you know, I think at this point I got 3 sacks. Now I'm just ruining. I'm just messing up the game now.
Yeah.
So like for me, that was a big moment, and it was like, trust me, I watch film. Like coaches watch film, they got their game plan, they got what they want to do, but as players, the ones that really do it,
Mm-hmm.
we got ideas and we got things that we think may work for us that can put us in a position to be successful as well. And I think that this is so why it's so important to have that relationship with your coaches
Mm-hmm.
as players, but you have to earn that trust and develop that trust over time or whatever. But when we see some, trust us.
Yeah.
And if a coach is willing to be like, all right, let's do it,
Let's do it.
and you better make the play.
Yeah. Take that ownership. Like I
Yeah.
said, players play, coaches coach.
Yes, sir.
Get out there on that grass, man. It's boils down to us to make plays. The
Yes,
coach
sir.
on the sideline, he can't do nothing.
You can't do nothing.
You know, we need them to put us in position to be successful, tell us what's going on out there, but when we get out there, we got to make the plays. We got to
Yes,
make it
sir.
happen.
Yes, sir.
Now that's dope. You want to do one more or
Yeah, let me do one more.
yeah, you want to do one
I'm
more?
already here. Oh, there was one play from Tennessee, dog.
You
Oh,
want to do that one?
I don't. It might not be on it because they got a first down, but it was. So the tackle got hurt. You know, he wasn't seriously hurt, but so I was looking at. I said, "Hey, I'm looking at dude. I'm like, hey, bro, you better get back in here because the guy coming in, he can't mess with me." And I'm telling him this. I'm like, you better get up. He's talking, I'll be in here next play. I'll be in here next play. Whatever. Boom, 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 boom. So Coach Vrabel come out. He come out on the field to check on this guy, and it's like, hey, coach, you know, much respect to you, you know, blah, 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 but you better run this ball. You better not put this dude in a pass situation, right? I swear, don't put him in a pass situation. What they do? Pass the ball, man. When I tell you, I ran down this man's face, cause it was straight speed to power. Put him on the butt, and again, gotta look to the. When you say you're gonna do something right here, when you say you're gonna do something, you gotta do it. So when I told him, do not throw the ball, I told y'all, do not throw the ball. This is gonna happen. Put him right on his butt. I looked to their sideline. I said, I did not just tell y'all to run the ball. Now look at him.
Now look at him.
And then went back to the huddle because they just got a first down. So I had to put that out there for the Tennessee fans. And plus, by the way, showing love, I'm a big, like, first of all, I ain't get here by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make every play by myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's everybody doing their part.
Mm-hmm.
That helps me find a way to be successful, and I want to be there for my other teammates as well.
Football's ultimate team sport.
It's the ultimate one. And when you can sacrifice your body for yourself, for the man next to you, like we talked about earlier, it's a very special bond you create you just bond. So right here, first quarter, 4 minutes. We 4 minutes and 26 seconds in. We up by 7. 3rd and 2, right? 3rd and 2, you think quick game, right? So for us, guess what coach called? Saw 1. So we in Saw. We both rushing the end. So, you know, right now it's 5-on-5. Every man is on the body, you know. So for me, it's like, I don't want to get past the quarterback. Is the ball either going to come out quick, or maybe he hold on to the ball, or maybe it's a run or whatever. But I know it's going to come out quick. And if it ain't, one of us better win.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, in my mindset was, okay, I'm going to go speed to power. So that's what I did. Speed to power, upfield shoulder, try to fall back inside, which I did. But I wouldn't have got this pressure or this sack if it wasn't for my nose tackle. When you can see, if you look from the back view, my nose tackle works one side of the works one side of the center and bulls him straight to the center, which gives him an open lane because, like I told you, I was bullying my tackle to the outside,
Mm-hmm.
which left that B gap open. They think that he has an escape lane
Mm-hmm.
because when a quarterback get bulled like that, what you gonna do? Try to find trying to find green grass or trying to find an open hole. So it was me doing one thing, my center, well, my nose tackle doing his job extremely well, which was bullying the center, making him step up, and for me to fall. All I did was fall back. All I did was fall back. Like, that was one of the easiest sacks I ever had.
That's working together right there.
And so when I went to the sideline, I thanked him. I hugged him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a guy that, I couldn't wait for him to have success as well. He wants to pass rush. He's one of the ones that want to pass rush. He's in there to stop the run. But he wanted to affect the quarterback as well. And I told him, your time gonna come, your time gonna come, your time gonna come. And that was the way. And yes, you didn't make the play, but we made the play.
Yep.
So yes, I get the credit, but you get the glory because I'm gonna give it to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I told that's what we do when we rush together.
Yeah.
We set things up. I go high, you go low. If you know my tackle or your tackle is short set or whatever, and you're gonna try to beat them high, hey, I'm gonna communicate that with my other end. Hey, I'm gonna go high, you go low. So it's almost like a fish. It's almost like a flush rush. Or you working with your interior. Let's say we're rushing together. You beat your guard high, right? And what is that thing? What is he gonna do? The quarterback gonna step right up. So if I'm knowing my teammate, if I'm knowing you, what the quarterback gonna do? You think he gonna run outside of you? No, he's gonna step right up. So instead of me taking like, oh, I'm gonna take an outside edge too. No, if I know you got a free rush, you the two-way, and you take it a high, I'm gonna make it a natural, and I'm gonna come right under. So now you work it with me. You take it high, I recover, I'll take where you at, and the quarterback step up, I get the sack. Exits. I told you I love exits. I sacrifice my body for you. I come in there.
I appreciate you.
I clean it all out.
Yeah.
I don't care about the sack. If I get the sack, good. If I don't, clear it out, make it all muddy. You come around scot-free, I'm celebrating like I made the sack. But that's where I feel like we need to get better up front. We need to get better in doing that. We need to get better of understanding that we do it for one purpose, and that's to get the quarterback down. Yes, I was fortunate to have 17 sacks. And again, I didn't miss any layups. You know how they talk about don't miss the layups?
Yeah.
Don't miss your layups.
Yeah.
If they're going to leave you free open, that's one of the hardest sacks to get, I think.
Yeah.
Don't miss the layup. And these are sacks that anybody can get. But that's how I got 17 sacks. I went back and looked at my tape. They all wasn't sacks. Like, they all weren't me being the tackle.
Prettiest one, but they never are. The number one sack in the NFL is the effort sack.
Yes, sir. And I got a few of them.
Yeah.
And that's because of the secondary.
Right.
Rushing coverage.
Right.
And so, and I think Coach Nelson's going to put us in a lot of situations to, our corners are going to press, or our corners are going to, show press a lot. What is that going to do? They're going to have time to throw the ball because they're going to have to get open. We got long rangey corners who can really cover for a long time. Hopefully, that helps. That is going to help our job out a lot better, and we can get home. I think we have a lot of talent on the edges. We have a lot of talent inside. We can really affect a lot of games. And you're talking about the talent in our AFC. I love it. Bring whoever you want to bring in here. You bring in not only notoriety to yourselves or whatever, you bring notoriety to our division. And when you bring notoriety to our division, we get more cameras, we get more lights. And we can prove that we're the best D-line. That's where the game is won. Yeah. In the trenches.
Right.
I think we're gonna be the best D-line. I know we're gonna be the best D-line. I think we can be the best D-line in the league. I believe that.
And it starts with us.
And
it always does.
I'm ready.
Let's get it.
I'm so excited, bro. I'm over here. I'm in my happy talk.
Yeah.
I'm in my happy talk. But
nah, it's I appreciate you joining the show, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's been a lot of fun for me to get to learn more about you. And I'm really excited about being able to take this field, get out here, and really start this season, man. Super excited. Appreciate you guys for checking out another episode of Third and Long. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the subscribe button. A lot more content coming for you guys. My man, Josh Allen. See you next time on another episode of Third and Long.